Heart 80s at the weekend, Saturday morning with Simon Beale. And when it comes to a man who has experienced the music industry and fame to the extreme, you cannot get much better than Matt Goss. Welcome to Heart 80s.
I'm so happy to be here. How are you?
I'm really well. How are you?
I'm great. It's just a chat before I came on the air. It's just like reminiscing. It's just so good to be here.
And you're a big 80s fan anyway, aren't you? I mean, we were just talking about the sort of stuff that you were into earlier in the decade. What sort of stuff were you listening to?
What I love about the 80s, I was a scar boy at school and just like, Madness and the Special Selector. And then I went, my first concert ever before then was Depeche Mode.
Great.
Hammersmith Odeon.
Well, do you know what? 2025 is looking so exciting for you and for us because you are back on tour. The Matt Goss Hit Some More tour, starting in Plymouth on March the 7th. It's taking 20 further dates across the UK after that, including the iconic London Palladium, and then wrapping up in Leeds on April the 28th. Have you played the London Palladium before?
I played it quite a lot of times. I love it.
Because you played every other venue, I think, on the planet. So
yeah, I have, yeah.
That's a special place, though, right?
Yeah, it always gives you so much as a venue. Like, those venues are way bigger than any artist that plays them. It's like, you play these venues in London, certainly the Albert Hall last year, like you know that you're just a passing moment, but they always give you so much, those venues.
Well, your last album, Beautiful Unknown, was a great album. There's so many strong songs on there. So in terms of the audience that come to your gigs, because you've got your very loyal fan base that have been there since the late 80s, but surely through all the other things that you've done, you've picked up a whole new generation of fans.
A lot of fellas come now, it's like, because they all get dressed up, and it's just, it's across the board, like, 21 to 71. It's crazy. Like, I mean, it's very high energy, as in like everyone's dressed up and bringing it. And I just, I might, if you want to bring the Bros look and you want to bring that look to the show, and
they still come in that, do they?
Wow.
So what made you, Craig and Luke, go, actually, we're going to go our own way and do our own thing? Because you were with other people when you were at college, you were doing this with other people, and suddenly you went, no, actually, we're going to do our thing now. What triggered that?
I feel like we all wanted to be in the music industry proper. It's like, I think a lot of people in bands, when they start out and it gets really tough and you got no money and you're just like, I remember we had this Breville toaster and we were making like cheese and salmon spread like in Breville toasters. But we were so excited that we had a Breville toast maker in our rehearsal space. But it was like, it wasn't very long. We had our first record deal offered to us by Arista when we were 16. They passed on the day that we were meant to go there in London, into central London. We thought that was it. And then within a year and a half, like, it was Sony, the now CBS, but now Sony came.
That's incredible. So obviously with that fame comes a legion of fans, and this is obviously well documented, we remember it well, but the Brosmania thing is bigger than any other mania thing that I can remember around that time. I mean, it was huge.
I remember just being completely knackered, and I sat down on the bed, and then somebody grabbed my ankles from under the bed. They were under my bed. They were waiting, but they thought it was just me. And I wish I could say I was cool, but I was screaming, like, kind of let out a yelp like Jim Carrey.
Well, you would, wouldn't you? I'm just going to read out some facts about your career just as we end, because this has blown my mind. You became the youngest person to sell out and headline Wembley Stadium. Is that still a record you hold now?
Yeah.
Brilliant. I love that. You're the first, your first UK tour saw you sell out 14 shows in less than an hour. You played 19 consecutive nights at Wembley Arena. Is that right? 19. Huge. And more recently, you sold out 2 nights at the O2 Arena in 7 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest, it takes me longer than 7 seconds to get my phone out of my pocket. Like, if I wanted to get tickets for your show, I'd be like, oh, crumbs, I missed it.
You yawned for 7 seconds, didn't you?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, well, listen, I'm sure
on tour.
We will come and see you on tour. The Matt Goss Hit Some More tour, starting in Plymouth March the 7th, and then taking in dates right across the UK, including the London Palladium. That'll be a show and a half. Have an amazing Christmas. Have a good break as well. Take time out, Matt Goss.
Thank you, sir.
Good to see you.
This is Heart.